of the war, the federal government pursued a program of political, social, and economic reconstruction across the South, including attempts to acquire legal equality and political power to former slaves. Reconstruction became a struggle over the meaning of freedom, with former slaves, former slaveholders, and Northerners adopting different definitions, eventually facing with increasing opposition by white Southerners and some Northerners. The government abandoned efforts of black equality in favor of sectional reconciliation between whites.
The Civil War was perhaps the most spontaneous event in American history. The survival of the United States as one nation was at risk on the outcome of war that depends on the nation's ability to bring to reality the ideas of liberty, equality, human dignity, and justice. Abraham Lincoln's election to the presidency in 1860 brought a climax the long debate about the relative powers of the federal and state government.
Boycotts, marches, demonstrations, the fight for civil rights throughout the nation, with rap nowadays standing in our way, talking about pulling up on a nigga like the KKK. Slavery was over and life was splendid. The Union had prevailed and slavery had ended. But in the South, the Jim Crow laws took hold. We were free, but whites were still bold. Separate was real, but equal no way. Plessy challenged it, but the court said it was okay. Law was just one form of persecution. Mobs took part in the violent retribution, beating us down when we stood up for our rights, or killing black men for looking at whites. They said, how can we do this? There's not enough of us. Then Rosa took a seat on that big old yellow bus. And Rosa stood up by sitting down and refused to move just because her skin was brown. She got arrested and sent to jail for defiance. Dr. King found a way to protest without violence. Marches and sit-ins and boycotts, of course, but the peaceful demonstrations often met with brute force. He had a dream that all God's children would be judged equally, but in the blink of an eye, he was gone. A bullet brought him down, but his dream lived on. Supreme Court cases and congressional acts, they're complex, but here are the basic facts. In the case Brown versus Board of Education, the Supreme Court had paved the way for integration, but Little Rock High School said they'd rather close than make whites go to school with little Negroes. With the Civil Rights Act of 1964, segregation could never be legal anymore. So we applaud the courage of our brothers and sisters who put up 100 years of resistance to a system that was cruel and unjust. There's still work to be done, but now it's up to us.